Chapter 5 Lyon, France 2006 Matt Daly looked at his watch. He had spent the last half hour sitting on an uncomfortable couch in a drab waiting room, deep within Interpol's headquarters in Lyon. The building, looming over the river on the Quai Charles de Gaulle, was a shrine to ugly functionality, a place built by bureaucrats, for bureaucrats. A data analyst's wet dream, thought Matt, noting the total absence of artwork or even an occasional colored rug or vase of flowers anywhere in the maze of corridors had seen so far. No wonder the staff looked so depressed. In fairness, he was basing this assessment on a sample of 2 people. The young Frenchman who had issued him his visitor's pass and led him to the office of the man had flown halfway across the world to see, and that man's secretary, a woman whose battle-axe features exuded about as much warmth as a Siberian nuclear winter. "Do you think he'll be much longer?" Matt asked. The secretary shrugged contemptuously and returned to her computer screen. Matt thought of his father. Harry Daly had never been to France, but had always admired French women from afar for their poise and charm and sexiness. Boy, would Rosa Klepp over there have shattered his illusions. Thinking about his dad made Matt smile. If it hadn't been for Harry Daly, he wouldn't be sitting here. Harry Daly had been a wonderful father, and an even better husband. Harry and Marie, Matt's mom, were married for 40 years and had been everything to each other. At Harry Daly's funeral last year, scores of friends had lingered at the graveside, sharing their memories of the man Matt and his sister, Claire, had loved for as long as either of them could remember. During the ceremony, Matt got terrible giggles when the Croatian priest's "May he rest in peace" came out quite clearly as "May he rest in peace." Given that Harry had died of cancer of the bladder, this struck both Matt and his sister as hilarious. Raquel, Matt's glamorous South American wife, didn't see the funny side. "My God," she hissed in Matt's ear, "what is wrong with you? Have you no respect? It's your father's funeral." "Oh, come on, honey. May he rest in peace. It's funny." Dad would have seen the humor. Imagine what Jerry Seinfeld would have done with a line like that. Raquel said cuttingly, "You are hardly Jerry Seinfeld, honey." It hurt because it was true. Matt Daly was a comedy writer, but in recent years not a very successful one. Handsome in a boyish, disheveled sort of way with a thick thatch of blonde hair and apple-green eyes, his most distinctive feature was his contagious smile, a facial event that seemed to fold his entire physiognomy into one giant laugh line. In the early days of their relationship, Raquel had been attracted to Matt's sense of humor and was flattered when amusing incidents from their life together made their way onto the hit TV show Matt worked on briefly back then. But after 8 years the novelty had worn off, along with the hope that Matt's residuals were ever going to earn them the glitzy Hollywood lifestyle Raquel yearned for. Matt now worked for a cable network that paid their bills but left them with little for the finer things in life. What's she bitching about this time? Matt's sister, Claire, was not a fan of her sister-in-law. "She doesn't like funerals," said Matt loyally. "Probably scared somebody's going to shine perpetual light upon her and we'll all get to see the scars from her latest eye lift." Matt grinned. He loved Claire. He loved his wife too, but even he was beginning to come to the painful realization that the feeling was probably no longer mutual. On the drive back to LA after the funeral, Matt tried to build bridges with Raquel. "I'm about to start working on a new idea," he told her. "Something different. A documentary." The faintest flicker of interest played in her eyes. "A documentary? Who for?" "Well, no one yet," Matt admitted. "I'm writing it on spec." The flicker died. "Just what we need," thought Raquel. "Another unsold spec script." "It's about my father," Matt pressed on. "My biological father." Raquel yawned. To be honest, she'd forgotten that Harry Daly wasn't Matt's real dad. Harry had married Matt's mom when Matt was a toddler and Claire a baby in arms. "I found out recently that he was murdered more than a decade ago." If this piece of news was intended to shock Raquel, or even pique her interest, it failed. "People get murdered every day in this city, Matthew. Why would anyone want to sit through an hour of television about your unknown father's demise?" "Ah, but that's the thing," said Matt, warming to his theme. "He wasn't unknown. He was an art dealer in Beverly Hills. Famous, at least in LA, and seriously rich. Now he had Raquel's attention. "You never mentioned this to me before." "How rich?" "Filthy rich," said Matt. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions? My God, Matt, Raquel gasped, swerving dangerously across lanes of traffic. What happened to all the money? It went to his widow, said Matt, matter-of-factly. What, all of it? What about you and Claire? Me and Claire? Oh, come on, honey. We hadn't had any contact with him for over 30 years. So. Raquel's pupils dilated excitedly. You're his children, his blood relatives. Maybe you could contest the will. Matt left. On what grounds? It was his money to leave as he chose. But anyway, you're missing the point. The story gets juicier. Raquel struggled to imagine anything juicier than a payout of hundreds of millions, but she forced herself to listen. The widow, who was only in her early 20s at the time, and who was violently raped by whoever killed my old man, gave all the cash away to children's charities. Every last penny. It was the biggest single charitable gift in LA history. But barely anybody knows about it because instead of sticking around to bask in the glory, this chick hops on a plane just weeks after the murder and disappears. Literally vanishes off the face of the earth and is never heard of again. It's wild, isn't it? Don't you think it's a great story? Raquel didn't give a damn about Matt's stupid story. What sort of man didn't lift a finger to stake his claim to a multi-million-dollar fortune? She'd married a cretin. How come you never brought this up before? The anger in her voice was unmistakable. Matt's spirits sank. Why do I always seem to make her angry? To be honest, he sort of forgot about it. I heard about it a few months ago, but I thought it might upset Dad if I showed too much of an interest, so he let it go. But now that Harry's gone, he figured it couldn't hurt to explore it. Networks are really into personal history right now. And murder and money always sell. The rest of the car ride passed in silence. By the time the Dalais reached home, two obsessions had been born. Raquel's was with a $400 million fortune. And Matt Daly's was with the unsolved murder of his biological father, Andrew Jakes. Over the next few months, while his wife spent fruitless hours consulting lawyer after lawyer, hunting for the loophole that would restore their fortune, as she now thought of the Jakes estate, what started as a research project for a documentary became the all-consuming focus of Matt Daly's life. By day he would trawl the LA libraries and galleries, greedily digging up every scrap of information about Andrew Jakes he could find, his businesses, his modern art collection, his real estate portfolio, his friends, enemies, acquaintances, lovers, interests, pets, health problems and religious beliefs. At night, holed up in his study like a hermit, Matt did more research online. Soon he was barely sleeping. Like a cuckoo chick demanding attention, the file marked Andrew Jakes grew bigger and fatter each day, while what little was left of Matt and Raquel Daly's marriage slowly starved to death. After a while even Claire Michaels became concerned that her brother was overdoing it. "What are you hoping to achieve with all this?" she finally asked one day. Standing in the kitchen of her bustling house in Westwood, with a baby on one hip and a pot of tomato sauce in her hand, surrounded by the noise and mess of a cheerful family life, Claire made Matt feel happy and sad at the same time. Happy for her, sad for himself. Would things have been different if Raquel and I had had children? "He told you," he said. "It's for a documentary." Claire looked skeptical. "How's the script coming along?" Matt grimaced. "I'm not at the scriptwriting stage yet." "Well, what stage are you at?" "Research." "Who have you pitched the idea to?" Matt laughed. "What are you, my agent?" He tried to make a joke of it, but inside he knew his sister was right. All his friends had said the same thing. The mystery surrounding his biological father's murder was becoming an addiction, a dangerous, time-consuming habit that was distracting him from his marriage, his work, his real life. Yet how was Matt supposed to let it go when the LAPD investigation had left so many holes, so many glaring, unanswered questions? According to the official file, Andrew Jakes had been killed by an unknown intruder, a professional thief who turned violent. No one was ever arrested for the crime. No specific suspects were even named. Meanwhile, his widow Angela seemed to have disappeared off the face of the earth, as had the jewelry and miniature portraits taken from the couple's house that night. Her attorney, Lyle Renalto, had driven her to the airport but claimed to have no idea where she was headed, and had apparently not heard from her since. Police had questioned him repeatedly, but he never changed his story. There was some talk of Mrs. Yaques being sighted in Greece, but nothing had ever been proven. Danny Maguire, the detective in charge of the case, quit the force not long afterward and left LA, taking whatever insights he may have had with him. Meanwhile, the semen from Angela Yaques' post-rape forensic examination had never been matched to any other crime, before or since. Neither were the few smudged fingerprints found at the crime scene at 420 Loma Vista. Matt said to Claire, "It's like one day this couple was living their lives in their beautiful mansion, planning for the future. And the next day, poof, it's all gone. The house, the money, the paintings. The couple themselves. And after the murder, his widow just hops on a planer one morning and is never heard of again." "Yes, Matt, I know the story," said Claire patiently. "But doesn't it scare you? The idea that all this mud waved around the kitchen at his nephews, their schoolbooks, all the detritus of Claire's full busy life, could be gone tomorrow. Gone." He clapped his hands for emphasis. "Like it never was." Claire was quiet for a long time. Finally she said, "I'm worried about you, Matt. I think you need to talk to someone." Matt agreed. He needed to talk to someone, all right. The problem was that the someone he needed to talk to lived in Lyon, France.